Let's start with the injury report, Emma. What are the things that we need to know about the Bears injury report?
Boys, good to be with you. Yes, right to it. Rome Odunze, limited. DJ Moore with a knee issue, limited. Ozzie Trapillo, limited. Kyler Gordon, also limited. So too was Jalen Jones. CJ Gardner-Johnson, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, and Amen Ogbongbemiga, each with concussions, did not practice. I'll just come out and say it. Like, Rome Odunze and Kyler Gordon are playing this game barring a setback. They've been in line for this all along. That has been the hope behind the scenes with the training staff. Rome Odunze, who you're going to hear from later, straight up said, like, yes, this has been the goal. So it's all hands on deck. This is the postseason. Unless there's something that pops up in practice the next couple of days, I would expect to see both of those guys out there.
Chris, do you sense any friction or disagreement in terms of the anticipation between Kyler Gordon and the Bears? Just wondering, like, is Kyler down to do whatever he needs to do? We know the Bears want him to.
Yeah, I've not been able to talk with him. The Bears' rule is not to have players speak to the media until they are activated from IR, but he was out there. I saw him in the locker room, seems to be in good spirits, and I get the sense, as Ben Johnson has kind of indicated, that the plan has been for him to be back out there and ready to go for the postseason. So if, again, he's had setbacks, you got to be very careful here given his issues with leg injuries, but if he's able to go through this week of practice clear, ready to go, I can't see him not being out there on Saturday night.
Chris, you feel like the confidence, the intensity is where it needs to be for a week like this?
Yeah, it's a different feeling in this building. And we know where that starts. That starts with Ben Johnson, who ever since Sunday afternoon after that loss has had this look in his eye, and he's visibly frustrated by that performance in the loss to the Lions. Came back out there Monday on Zoom. You felt the shortness with him. He comes up to the podium on Tuesday, and oftentimes there's pleasantries, some little joke. He's like, let's get right to it. Like, he's not messing around this week, and these players aren't either. So from my perspective, covering this team, often the first guy I look to in that locker room is Joe Thuney, because he's been around the block. He's won 4 Super Bowl championships. He's won the division title in 9 out of his 10 years in this league.
Wow.
Just a remarkable career of success and winning. And he's got the experience to help this team through this. He's been around the block and has championship rings to show for it. So I talked to Joe Thuney, as did many of my colleagues, and the first question you're going to hear is, what traits do you see in the Bears that lead you to believe this is a team that can make a run?
Yeah, I think kind of just the overall selflessness of teams. You know, it doesn't matter who gets the yards or touchdowns or who has good stats or who doesn't. All that matters is that we want to win. It doesn't matter how we win and what it looks like. It's just offense, defense, special teams. You know, we're a whole unit going after them, and you know, each game's different, but you know, I think everyone just wants to play for each other, and I think that kind of theme is kind of been constant.
You've been part of some obviously championship teams that had been there before. Obviously, this is a new team that's here for the first time in a lot of ways. What do you see in this group?
Yeah, I think everyone's just, you know, this franchise is so historic and so awesome, and I think it's been a minute since the Bears have been in the playoffs, and I think everyone just wants to do great and do as best they can, and there's just a lot of focus and intent this week, and like it's been for the past bunch of weeks, but I think there's just a lot of excitement and focus.
It's pretty funny because, like, that's just what this guy does. Like, he shows up and he's like, oh, yeah, see, everybody's busting their ass and holding it to a very high standard and having fun and everything. Yeah, okay, that's how you do football things. Okay, let's go.
It's pretty cool. Emma, having now been around him for a full season, what type of role do you think his presence has actually played? Because that offensive line got reconstructed. And for the most part, they've been really good.
Especially the middle three. Man.
Yes.
I think every single player in that locker room looks to Joe Thuney as a leader and somebody they respect the heck out of because of his resume, because of the fact that he has 4 Super Bowl rings and this incredible career, Hall of Fame caliber career of winning and of playing at such a high level. And they see the way he works. They see his professionalism every step of the way. And you have to look to that guy as an example. And I find him just so fascinating because he was traded here. He did not have a choice to come to the Bears. For as decorated as he's been in his career, he was dealt away from the Chiefs, and a team with which he won 3 Super Bowl titles. And you kind of felt some discomfort at first as he shows up a couple days later and suddenly he's with the Bears and he's with this new team. And I think over the course of this time with Ben Johnson, with this young corner, especially with Caleb Williams, there's been such a clear comfort for Joe Thuney of this is a team where I can win. I can get another Super Bowl ring here in time. And he went from I think trying to figure out everything in this building to signing off and signing that extension and being a key leader for a team that's having a breakthrough season. So for Joe Thuney, it's picking up right where he left off.
Chris Emma with us here on Spiegel and Holmes. You mentioned Rome Odunze, the big-bodied ex-receiver, the #1 draft pick. Sounds like he wants to play and expects to play.
I think if last Sunday or that game in San Francisco was a win-it-in type game where you absolutely had to have it and you hadn't clinched, that he might have been out there. But they've been obviously erring on the side of caution for a player who re-aggravated that injury on December 14th prior to kickoff against the Browns. And Caleb Williams, the day that Rome Odunze re-aggravated that injury, texted him and said, get yourself ready. We're going to be okay without you. Get ready for the playoffs. And that's been the goal for Rome Odunze, for the training staff as well. He's ready to go. He's been out there, albeit in a limited role. He's been building up towards getting out there on Saturday night. And here's the question for Rome. Has your focus been on returning for the postseason?
I mean, everything's been focused on that, everything, honestly, all my energy, my focus, my, attitude has been, on that mark, trying to just get back as soon as possible. That was, kind of, like I said earlier, kind of changed at different weeks from time to time. But when I kind of got to an understanding with the training staff and everybody that this is kind of be my benchmark, I put all my energy and effort into that, so excited for this week.
And do you feel like you're where you need to be able to help your team the way you want to in a big playoff game?
Absolutely, yeah. I think I definitely provide, an asset to this offense. It's tough being out for 5 weeks and having to, kind of be on the sidelines and have all that, happen and go through that, the ups and downs of the season and not being able to contribute. So as long as I'm, have the opportunity to go out there and contribute, I'm gonna give it my all, and I believe I can make a difference.
Do you have any trouble with stamina at this point?
With stamina? Yeah. I'm not in my peak shape. I will admit, but I've been working hard. I've been trying to get my conditioning up any way that I can possible, and I'm good to play a game. So I'm excited to go do that. And when that adrenaline is going and things are starting to fly and the Green Bay's on the opposing sideline, stamina kind of goes to the win.
Do you think you are going to play Saturday? Maybe?
Do I think I'm going to play? I don't know. We'll just it's up in the air right now. It's up in the air.
Rome, is that what you're tracking toward right now? Is that the plan at least? Like if everything goes well, you are planning?
I don't know. It's up in the air. I'm planning. But I've been planning on playing every week. So,
man, that vibe of you guys knowing he's going to play, him not being allowed to say it, and everybody smiling and chuckling is quite a thing. What I heard in there is a dude who, though he may not get the snap counts requisite for a true #1, he may not get the targets or whatever, physically, he's ready. And like Emma said, Lawrence, he's been ready. So that means, whatever patterns you want, fly, go, like in terms of using that foot and cutting off it, whatever, the governor is off.
It's so interesting to me that there are a bunch of players for the Bears. They're in the space of, you're not going to play 99% of the snaps, but the snaps that you play, we need 100% of you.
Yep.
Now, that's also a little scary, right? Because you're hoping that a guy like Rome plays as much as possible. The good thing is there have been a bunch of players on this team that have stepped up in his absence.
You're right, though, because Rome is the guy you expect would be out there all the time. And then they mix and match with a lot of DJ and a lot of Luther.
And Jade Walker.
Yeah, but less of that if Rome would be out there the whole time. Interesting spot, and a different kind of thing than maybe where Kyler Gordon is physically.
Yep. And one of the guys that they're leaning on now is Colton Loveland. He's been terrific, Emma.
He really has. And I got to speak with Declan Doyle earlier, who said the beauty of this is there's still more meat on the bone. He's just getting started in terms of reaching his full potential. But he had 58 receptions. That passes Mike Ditka for third on the Bears rookie receiving list. He has 6 touchdowns this season, second among all your first-year players this season. And he's just been a reliable target. You see, anytime they need a big third down or need to move the chains, they're looking to Colton Loveland. And it's just a different role for him now. And part of that is just because of his connection with Caleb Williams. And Ben Johnson sees that. He builds so much of his game plan around this rookie tight end being active and being a key component for Caleb Williams. And the connection's clear. So I got to talk with Colton Loveland along with several of my colleagues. And the first question for him is, do you feel Caleb Williams' confidence is contagious throughout this building?
Yeah, very, very. I think that stands for everyone, too. you can tell when, especially a guy like Caleb, like if he comes in with not a good attitude, that's going to affect the whole team. So he's done a great job of not doing that and coming in confident and just uplifting others around him. So I think that's very valuable for sure.
What does it mean to you to earn the trust of both Caleb and the coaches to get the kind of role that you've had here as of late?
Yeah, that's very important. That's something that I take pride in and took pride in early. That was the biggest thing for me, just earn the trust. Build that relationship with the coaching staff and the team so I could be put in positions to make a play if I need.
Declan Doyle said there's still meat on the bone in terms of your potential. Do you see that too?
Most definitely, yeah. Just breaking the surface.
In what ways?
I think all around, man. I think only 21, so as long as I just continue to trust in God, keep putting the work in, I think things can definitely get better.
How much better of a player are you than when you walked in on day one, pro-wise, a blank canvas?
Yeah, way better. And still, like I said, have a lot more to improve in all aspects of my game. But yeah, from day one camp, just watching the film, even from prior games, it's like, wow, just getting better each and every week, which is good.
When Ben walked in on Monday or Tuesday when you guys had your first team meeting, he said, we're mentally preparing to play for 5 more weeks. How did he kind of readdress the team, refocus this group coming off of week 18 and heading into this crucial part?
Yeah, you just hit it on the head. He's like, it's another season, so you guys better have more energy, better energy than we had last season. Like he said, if you're not after the game, he said, if you're not prepared to play the next 5 weeks, if you're thinking about anything else, thinking about booking flight, vacations or anything, don't come in. So he made it very clear about what's at stake and what this team is looking for.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's good.
If you're thinking about a vacation or booking a flight, anything, late January, the Galapagos are beautiful that time of year. Just don't bother coming in.
You have to say that, though, because Bears players haven't really...
Hey, man, not just Bears players.
Yeah.
Lawrence, you haven't booked your postseason trip yet.
I have not. There are a lot of players that over the last couple of years had Cancun circled.
Sure. Lawrence, Emma, you might not know this, but Lawrence owns a private island, and he has not booked his flight to his own private island yet.
I want an invite, man. Bring me on. Let's go.
The only islands I hang out on are Blue and Stony. That's the only islands that I hang out on, Emma. But yeah, like watching this guy turn into the player that he's become has been so great. And you knew when they drafted him that there was this potential, right, Emma? But seeing it play out as quickly as him being a part of some huge moments for this offense has been outstanding.
Yeah, look, it's exactly what they mapped out for. Declan Doyle said, this is the player we scouted before the draft. This is exactly the guy the Bears hoped they were getting, and they've incorporated him right into this offense. And there were growing pains. It took a little bit of time, obviously, early on in the season, but it's full go now. This is an impactful player, and anytime they need that play, they're going for 84. Caleb Williams knows where to find him. I think part of the things that prohibited him early in the season from having this kind of production was that he wasn't the primary enough. The Bears are making him the primary read. They want to get him the football. So now you got Rome Odunze coming back for this offense. You got DJ Moore out there. You've got some emerging players like Johnny Walker in there. Cole Kmet as well. You've got options in this passing game, and you can evolve this thing a little bit more. And from the Packers standpoint, you've got Odunze back. Are you targeting him as a primary? Are you worried about him? Are you worried about Colton Loveland? Are you worried about DJ Moore beating you over the top? You've got a beautiful thing going right now with this offense where you've got weapons. And this thing is evolving in a way where it wasn't a couple months ago or even a month ago at this point. And that's part of the beauty of what Colton Loveland has brought is it changes everything for this offense.
And then there's the defense. Boy, 1,313 yards over the last 3 weeks for your Chicago Bears. Dennis Allen have solutions today?
Not really. I wish I could say yes. Look, Ben Johnson said it a couple days ago when he addressed the game on Sunday, saying that, they held them to 19 points. And that is enough to win a game in theory. But you watch this game, you see a defense is just getting picked apart. It doesn't matter if it's man or zone. The other team's quarterback is getting after you. Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, Jordan Love can do the same thing on Saturday night. This is a defense that is figuring it out. And look, you see the way this is played out with the injuries and guys who are just not at this level and the complete lack of a pass rush at times. Dennis Allen's doing what he can. I think the frustration is within. I think Ben Johnson understands that. But what all Dennis Allen can do right now is give it his best, try to make the most out of what he has. So here's Dennis Allen with a question of how are you trying to straighten this thing out heading into the postseason?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think, just consistency in what we're doing. And getting off the field on third down, I think that's probably been, probably the biggest, issue that we've had. I mean, part of it is we've played some really good teams the last couple of weeks, some really good offenses. And yet last week we played a team that, we held them to 19 points. So, and ultimately that's what the goal is to limit the points and give yourself a chance to win.
You mentioned the bottom line on the Lions game being that you held them to 19 points. How do you weigh that with some of the long possessions they had, some of the inability to get off on third down?
Yeah, I mean, well, ultimately you look at points allowed. That's the number one thing. And look, it's not always as clean as we want it to be, not always as pretty as we want it to be. But our job is to give us an opportunity to win. And look, those things are all. There's a lot of things that go into those things. There's us being able to get off the field. I think the last couple of weeks we've kind of hit a deal where we haven't done a good job of getting off the field, we hadn't maintained possession as much offensively as we have in a lot of games. So that's how some of that stuff works, and yet. We had a chance to win both of those games. Comes down to the very end of the game, and you have a chance to win. Sometimes you're going to win those, sometimes you're not. But I think the more often you put yourself in those positions to have an opportunity to win, the better your opportunities are.
So
Emmett was correct. He had no answers.
He had no answers whatsoever. He did tell us third down, so I looked it up. On the season, the Bears defense in third down percentage, 22nd out of 32 teams. The last 3 weeks, 30th out of 32 teams. Just Arizona and Carolina, actually, are lower. Dallas is also down there, and Miami.
They won the trade.
So 30th out of 32 teams the last 3 weeks in third down. And what did Matt Bowen tell us you got to do on most third downs in terms of coverage? Play a lot of man
on 3rd and 2 through 3rd and 6.
Yeah, third down and medium is a lot of man
coverage, and it's a place where they struggle. Emma, Nuggets, tidbits,
and Nuggets.
Yeah, the average price for tickets on Saturday, $813 according to TickPick. $380 more than the second highest wildcard game, which is the Niners and Eagles out in Philly. The Bears will give out orange rally towels for Saturday night with good, better, best on there. And I don't know if you checked the forecast, boys, but it is looking messy. AccuWeather is calling for a drop in temperatures and accumulating snow as part of a system moving through. You might get some bear weather for Saturday night at Soldier Field.
Great stuff, Chris. What was that website where you got the ticket price again?
That would be TickPick.
Okay. Thank you.
You got it right.
Yeah, no, he nailed it. It was my ears that was the problem.
Dump him.
No, don't. Bye, Emma.
Bye, Chris. Thank you. Great work from Chris Emma up there at Halas Hall.
Outstanding.
Yeah, man.
Outstanding work from Chris Emma. Oh, feeling it, man. Feeling it.
You're feeling it?
I'm so excited about this weekend.